Hello everyone. Hello everyone. So we are back with our episode 5. Let's start with a brief introduction of Wiki again. So Wiki is basically a platform where all women club together and share their journey, share their experiences with each other and help each other out in their own terms. So it's a wonderful platform to share your knowledge. Today we also have one of our members who has achieved and experienced a lot of things. So let's welcome her. Hi, hello ma'am.
Hi Tanu, how are you?
I'm good. What about you?
I'm good.
So guys, today we have with us Miss Samaya Afreen. So ma'am, let's start with small formal introduction of yours.
Sure. So I'm co-founder and director of a social organization which is based in Delhi, Lakshya Jeevan Jagriti. So we have been working in education sector since 2009, and yeah.
That's awesome. Like you have done a brilliant job, if I say. So, ma'am, let's start with like if I ask my first question to you, it will be like what idea or what moment kickstart you that you start with such a wonderful journey from being a student or from being a girl to a director and a founder of such a beautiful organization which named Lakshya Jeevan Jyoti, and it's defined and reflects a lot of things. So how
Yeah.
you end up with it?
Okay, so Tanu, I'll start from the very beginning. My journey started actually from when I was in school, and I realized that I really need to do a lot of things in my life, but somehow I ended up in a college which I never wanted to be in. It was a distance learning college, and I was a quite above average student throughout my school life. And then somehow, because of lack of support, guidance, or knowledge, I ended up somewhere which was never my dream. So during my first year, I struggled a lot. I used to feel myself as a failure throughout my first year because that was not my dream college, and that was not my dream to be in that particular course. So what I realized that I have to be out of have to think out of the box and do something about it. So fortunately I met my co-founder Rahul Goswami in that particular college, and what he made me realize is that you have the potential to do everything in your life. Just take charge of it, and don't just get dependent upon the particular curriculum course. You just knowledge is everywhere. You just go and grab it. And from there only we started. Me and along with my, other friends and peers, we started going out in different colleges across India. We participated in most national, international conferences, whatever they were offering in marketing. So we didn't see what is the topic of the conference, but we just wanted to be there and just learn from whatever professors or guests were actually talking in that particular conference. And from there onwards, we one day we went to in an international conference in IIM Ahmedabad, where there was a competition going on, and we participated in that competition, and we won the competition, and we won some amount, a prize amount from that particular competition. And we were sitting in the lawn of IIM Ahmedabad, and we were just discussing our achievement. And what I realized over the time, that we should also think about students who are actually in the same mindset, that they are stuck in some certain kind of colleges, certain kind of courses which they really never wanted to be in their lives. And then what we have done throughout the college life was something that we have taken the charge of our development throughout the year, and we started a journey which was a transformation from because we were very underconfident. Am I audible?
Yeah, you are like
So
your
so
network
we
was
were
stuck.
okay.
Now
So we
perfect.
were okay. So we were underconfident. We never knew how to communicate, what to communicate. We were very hesitant to speak in front of people. But somehow, because of our participation, we gained that confidence. We gained that knowledge that was missing throughout. And from there onwards, we decided to form an organization which will cater the needs of the students, and will start working on these students from the very beginning of their lives. So from there onwards, the formation of Lakshya Jeevan Jagrati started in 2009, where we started a program called Eklavya for children who were coming from underprivileged background, and give them education support along with social emotional learning support.
That's brilliant. Like you have just striked off the thing that you are feeling and you just help out the student with the same feeling. It's a very
Ah,
beautiful journey. So, ma'am, when I was like scrolling down the website of yours, there was a slogan like I can't to I can. The journey from
yeah.
I can't to I can. So this reflects a very different pool of changes in mindset of different people. So what is the idea behind like taking that slogan? Like what's the motive behind that?
You can Tanu, you can say that this is our secret sauce, which we called, because our main agenda of the complete education program is to change the mindset of the children, because they come from a certain background where they feel that they don't have a potential, they can't do something in their lives. So they come with a fixed mindset, and a lot of the circumstances, a lot of the environment around them forces them to think that way, that your parents are at a certain jobs, you don't have role models in your life, whatever you see around you is just you know uh, they don't have enough exposure. So where to find the role models in their own community? So they have a mindset that if whatever I'll do, I can't reach that level, I can't reach my dream. So this is the agenda of the whole program, just to make them think that you can do anything in your life. And to change that, we work on their mindset. So there are two kind of mindset. There's a fixed mindset and there's a growth mindset. So we work on the growth mindset, which enables children to think that they have potential, they can do in their life. If even if they have flaws, weaknesses, we can work it out. Anything can be achieved, and if slowly and slowly progress can be made, we can do anything in our lives. So that's the idea of putting together the whole program, giving them exposure, giving them knowledge, giving them confidence and growth mindset, so that they can think that they have all the resources around them. They just have to use those resources and for them, and achieve their dreams.
That's very true. Like children don't have their proper guidance even through in their small lives. Like they go through the footprints of whatever the parents suggest or whatever they say. It's like
Right.
they think of achieving that, but somehow they stuck in the middle. Like they don't know where to go. So it's a
Yeah.
wonderful start to change the mindset of people that if they have dreams, if they have potential, they can achieve a lot in their life. Just they
Right.
need to believe in their beliefs. That's I follow that believe in your beliefs is must, which
Right.
makes a person a better person.
Okay, to give you one example, Tanu, I just wanted to interrupt you. Sorry. We have few students from the community who are working in in retail sector and hospitality sector, and they have completed the journey of the transformation throughout. I mean, they joined the program in ninth grade or 8th grade in our classrooms, and then after their high school, they now have a clear path that they want to join what industry. They know what courses they can do and improve their potential. And they some of the students are working in Bata, Haldiram. So these are the sectors where students from coming from very underprivileged background now are working and earning independently. They are financially independent, and they become the role model of their siblings now. They are the role models in their community. So this is what we really intend to do throughout the program, that these children take the leadership in their lives and become the change maker in their communities.
So, ma'am, like we are talking about children and the leadership quality that inbuilt in them. So, one of your program, that is Kuch Tum Kaho, Kuch Hum Kahe, in which small kids are hosting the sessions and they are interviewing the founders and co-founders. It's something which hit directly to the mindset of people that anything is possible at any age. So, like, can you just give us a small insight of all the programs that you have started and how they have changed the life of people?
Okay, so what I just told you about is the program Eklavya. So it comes from the very mythological story you might have heard about Eklavya, that how Dronacharya denied him this particular kind of training, but he still continued to train himself without without being the part of that particular program. And this is how a lot of students, a lot of our children face every day. There are certain kind of trainings, courses, or you can say opportunities which is not accessible to a certain percentage of children because they don't have resources, money, or financial because of financial constraint. And the program comes in the picture. We really wanted to train children in a way that they will become eklavyas. They train themselves, they know their potential, they know how they can pick up their books without any intervention of the teacher. So the whole agenda of the whole program was to make them realize their own potential. And Kuch Tum Kaho, Kuch Hum Kahe is an initiative we started last year only. When our online, after the lockdown, the whole program, we have converted the whole program to online classrooms. And from there, we have seen a tremendous change in our children, because they were actually missing out schools. They really were interested to be in the classrooms. They really wanted to meet other children, and we have seen a huge progress in their communication skills, the way they interact with their Didi and Bhaiya, because we don't call the teachers ma'am or sir in the classroom, we call them Didi and Bhaiya, so that they can have the safe space to share anything about their fears, challenges. And Kuch Tum Kaho, Kuch Hum Kahe was my idea that let's give them exposure to they should know the term entrepreneurship, and they should learn directly from entrepreneurs themselves. They should directly learn from the entrepreneurs themselves. Is it okay now?
Yeah. It's so my network okay, like, I think.
Maybe it's mine, I guess. Is it fine now?
Yeah.
Okay, so we started inviting small entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs who just started their initiative, and the idea was to give exposure to children. So they prepare the whole interview, they prepare the whole questions for them, and ask them what was the difficulty they faced during the journey, how was their school life, how was their parent, do they really support them. And when they hear their stories, they feel motivated. They feel that this is the same thing that we are facing, what they have faced already, and we can also do something. So, and they are doing wonderful. I mean, if you have seen their Facebook interviews, how they are actually they are interacting, sitting in their own houses, and just with a small mobile phone in their hand and just doing wonders.
Yeah, they're just so confident and so, like, I can say, boost up. So there's a wonderful thing which happened in their life and which you have bring. So thank you for
Yeah.
initiating that thing that will give a brief and a very vast change to their lives. So ma'am, like we are all going through pandemic. So in this pandemic, like things affected a lot. So how your plans got affected? Like your organization has also served many things. Like you have helped people in terms of food, in terms of education, also in terms of financial help. So how
Yeah.
all it started and what's your experience in all throughout the journey?
Like I told you, we have been into education sector for quite a long time now. And when last year, when the lockdown, announced, so we were very confused what to do because all our physical centers, we have closed the centers, all our physical classes last year, and then we started online classroom, but that was very difficult because not everyone had smartphones or Android phones or internet connection. So out of our children, only 40-50% had smartphones, and but that was a huge issue as well. And then when we started the classes after the lockdown, we started getting calls of children that, ma'am, didi, we need help. Our father is jobless, my mother who used to be domestic worker is now at home, and there is no other way of uh, we don't have ration, we don't have groceries. And then we started the relief support into 2020, and we started a campaign to support them through groceries, through basic essentials, and cooked meals. And in three slums last year, we distributed 2.5 lakh cooked meals, and we have supported more than 500 families with 1 month grocery support. So this is how we have initiated the relief work last year. And then when the lockdown, every situation was getting better in Delhi, and we started our own physical classes in the slum itself. And in January, March, again the same situation, even the worst situation came when the lives of many were actually in danger in the community itself. So we were trying to support people who lost their only bread earners in the family, because there was only one bread earner in most of the families, and now they have lost their lives. So we were keeping track of those families and really wanted to support them through financial help. So we started fundraising campaign for those families as well. We started giving them cash relief because some of the families were stuck in Delhi and they don't have any other mean to go to their villages in Bihar, UP, wherever they wanted to go. And because they have lost their only bread earner, they don't have savings, they don't have anything in their hand. So there has to be someone so that they can have some amount of cash or something where they can use that cash to go to their own village and feel secure about it. So we have given cash relief to certain families who really wanted to really go to their villages or have lost their only bread earner. And now also we are providing cooked meals to children living in those slums, and grocery support to people across Delhi, I would say, because last time we were doing relief work in 2 or 3 slums, but now we are getting requests from many slums in Delhi across Rohini, Nagloi, Zakhira, Nehru Nagar. A lot of slums in Delhi we have been supporting in the last 1 month.
That's a very wonderful job. Hats off to you for that. In between, guys, if you want to donate something or if you want to donate some money, like a small change can make a very big change. So even a small penny can help a lot to those people who are suffering very badly from COVID. So you can visit the website pinned in the chat box and just donate something and help the people. As it's our duty to help each other. So let's do it and let's save people. So ma'am, like you have experienced a lot of moments throughout the journey when you are helping people. So can you just share a brief memory or some moments which you feel like that give you happiness all around the sadness, all around the depression when you are helping people?
Like that we are still conducting online classes to children, whatever situation they are, I mean, in at their houses, they never show this into the classroom. They come very happily, they interact with teachers very happily, even though there is no ration at home. There is no you know, I mean, their mothers are, you know, helpless, their father are helpless right now, but they knew the situation of the house, but they really wanted to join the class. What they are eager to, you come to the classroom and just enjoy being with other children, enjoy being learning. So that is what we are looking forward to every single day. So if you join the classroom from 1 to 3, they never share their you know, bad experiences. They always come with a smile, they always come with the participation, 100% participation. And they always acknowledge, Didi, we received the food yesterday, it was very tasty, please send some more. So we always give them cooked meals. From last year, we have started the food program for them, because now they are not going to school. There is no midday meals. So there, I mean, a lot of children are, you know, facing you know, financial crisis at home, but still food is the best. Children feel happy. Food is the thing which feels everyone, you know, makes everyone happy. So we, by providing cooked meals, we really want our children to be happy and just join the classroom with smile. So this is what we always looking forward to. And if you, I'll share one story with you. You won't believe, from last year to this year, all the festival we have celebrated online with children, be it Christmas, be it Diwali, be it New Year, they have dressed up and they come to the online classroom, dance, they sing, whatever. You cannot expect that how they can dress up so nicely and just come to the classroom and just celebrate every other festival. That was something we always look forward to, that our children are so enthusiastically participating. And we have never thought of that this will be so successful, the online program will be so successful. But the problem is, again, 60% of the children are not able to attend the classroom because of the lack of data recharge. They can't recharge money data every month. They don't have Android phones. So from one phone, 5 children join the class. So this is how they are maintaining, I mean, the attendance. We are maintaining it. But we are still requesting people to please donate their old mobile phones, Android phones, devices, laptops. If you have something at your home, please donate it, because this is going to be a huge make a huge difference in the lives of the children who really want to attend the class and want to educate themselves. Yeah.
I think that's the beauty of learning. When one wants to learn something, he or she doesn't look around what's happening or what's going on. They just focused on their goal. So that's the beauty, and that's the most important fact one should understand. So ma'am, when you have started from, like you say, your journey starts from school and then ends up with in your college life. So you have faced various challenges throughout the journey. So what are those challenges, and what are the basic ideas or advice you want to give to our budding dreamers who want to take a fly to different fields?
Tanu, I started when I was in college, and there were a lot of people who was actually discouraging us that you are a bunch of young people, nobody is gonna listen to you, and you will end up fighting with each other, and you are not gonna make it. So initially, from initial 5 years was very, very difficult financially. I would say there is no encouragement as such, but we didn't listen to anybody. We were actually 100% confident on ourselves that we have to really do this without any we were not taking any negativity. We were together. We used to discuss everything together. And if you are determined to do something in your life, I don't think so you should listen to people who are actually demotivating you every single day and making you feel that you can't do something. So don't listen to them. Always be in the groups, always be in certain platforms where people encourage you, where people give you productive inputs. productive feedbacks, and always be in such spaces where you will learn new things from different experiences, from different people. And that's why I'm a part of a lot of such platforms, such groups, where I see that there are people who are doing the same kind of work, have same kind of mindset, and doing their 100%. So always be in such participate or join such initiatives where there are people which have a similar thought process like you have, and just be yourself. Don't listen to negative feedbacks or negativity, and don't be the part of such groups or people who always discourage you.
Yeah, this is very true. Like negativity attracts the most when you are going
Yeah.
to do something or when you are trying to start off different things. It is the one thing which attracts people the most in their life, and if one overcome that now, it will be the most beautiful start of a new journey ahead. So,
Yeah.
ma'am, like what ends up, what idea or what things ends up with you, like you joined Wiki. So, what is the mindset behind that, and what do you think Wiki can provide you and Wiki can help you out?
I think any platform which has like-minded people, like I said, I would definitely be the part of it. And I think this platform has people from different different works of life. They really want to do something. Really want to share. They are eager to learn. I think these kind of platform always attracts me or any other women. And this is something, a platform which is managed by women, run by women, and all have women in their uh, they invite people who really want to do something in their life. So this is I think this platform can actually help. We can help each other, as women, as budding entrepreneurs, as scholars, whoever in the platform, which so they are coming with different expertise, people coming from different expertise at the platform. And that is the beauty of it. We can help each other out. We have enough space for each other. We listen to each other, and every week we meet each other, and how everything will be shared on the platform. So I think this is the beauty of it, and this is going to help us as a community, because only we can understand our issues and challenges and fears, and this is how we can grow.
Yeah, exactly. Like every people has a different idea of prospecting different things. So that can help each other a lot how to start with it, how to execute their plans. It would be
Yeah.
easier for them to execute, to implement the changes or the effects which they want in their organizations or their startup or even in their lives. So, ma'am, like you are organizing so many things, like you are a founder, you are director, you also organize different things, you study yourself, you learn a lot. So, like, besides all these things, in between, when you feel like distressed or when you feel sad or like think so much tired, what is that one activity which brings a smile to your face?
um, I think when I see results, uh, when I see that children have actually made progress, and when I see stories from the ground, that if some of the girl or a boy got selected in a job interview, they shared you the photos, the pictures that they are working somewhere, and this is the biggest achievement, I would say. If somebody who feel that he can't do anything or she can't do anything in their life, and then somehow they have achieved that dream and coming up with certain achievements of their lives. So this is something which keeps me going, I would say. So to tell you one story, we had a batch of young boys and girls who were either drop out from school and were doing or either they were high school they have just crossed, passed their high school, and they had no idea where to go, what to do, and no support or guidance as such. So we have a program for youth, which is youth employment program, where we train them in IT skill, communication skills, and so on. And after this program, all of them got placed in different sector, and one of them got in retail industry, and he got opportunity to work with Uniqlo, and he was earning 25,000 per month. That gave us such a huge sense of achievement. That was not his achievement, that was totally we saw that whole batch was actually celebrating it, because that was an achievement of complete the whole community. And he was the one who was actually now a role model for his sister and brothers in their family. So this is what the achievement we always look forward to,
Ma'am,
and that's give me
we
relief.
are talking about like you just said role model. So is there any role model of yours which you follow the footprints of?
I always choose someone as my role model every single day, and from my school life onward, there was a family member of mine, she was working. Is it okay? My network? I thought my network is
Yeah, now it's perfect. So
okay.
like yeah, continue.
Yeah. So I always choose a role model in my life. So when I was in school, there was a family member of mine she was working, and she was the only woman in our family who was working and managing the house both perfectly. So I used to see her as a role model. And then after my school, I used to see one of my senior as a role model. She was good with education. She had great achievements. So I always pick someone. So now I actually see a lot of organizations. I don't see individuals now, but I see a lot of organization which has wonderful achievements in terms of beneficiaries, their working style. So I see them as my role model, that if I really want to achieve something through my organization, I really need to practice what they practice.
That's awesome, if I say. So, I'm in the last, like when you start, there are some basic steps of starting something or achieving something. So, what are those basic steps which you want to like suggest all women out there who are just trying to set up their dreams to a reality?
I think what we did before we figure out something else, we first figure out what are the people around us. I think what is most important is I would say is the asset. The most important asset is people. So if you really know who is your gang, who is your group, where you can rely on, what is the team you're going to be, what are the people, that I think that is gonna give you a huge kickstart. If you can figure out the right team initially, then that team can actually bring a lot of productive way of doing things. And this is how in our organization how it worked. We really know what kind of people we really wanted in our organization, and how we as a team has actually invested ourselves to grow, and also it reflected on the organization as well. We started in college and we invested a lot of time in our growth first. We learned a lot. We went to different platforms to achieve that particular training, to train ourselves in leadership. So like I told you, I started in college, but I had no experience. I didn't had any opportunity where I can train myself. Then slowly after working in the organization, I started applying to different platforms, different fellowships, and through that fellowships they gave me a lot of opportunity to grow as a leader. In 2016, I got selected in Global Good Fund Fellowship Program, which is in Washington DC. I have become the part of Young Social Entrepreneur Program in Singapore International Foundation. So all those achievements, all those platforms gave me an edge to learn. And I think invest in yourself, invest in your learning, and also find out who are the people in your team and who can actually give you a lot of support mentally and also in the team.
Yeah, I think it's the most important thing to analyze the audience which you are targeting. That's very true. So,
Yeah.
thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us today, and it's a wonderful conversation with you. You have shared a lot of things, and I think our audience had learned a lot from this. So, guys, just keep exploring and just start learning from each and everything which you got in your way.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Tanu,
you,
for
ma'am.
inviting. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Stay safe and stay healthy.